Welcome to This Explainer. We are diving into a genuinely fascinating document today. We're looking at how an entire nation, India, is systematically preparing its next generation for an AI-driven world. And we aren't talking about a generic, run-of-the-mill tech class here. We are talking about a highly structured, surprisingly holistic curriculum aimed directly at ninth graders. Just imagine learning the foundations of artificial intelligence before you even learn to drive. We're going to explore exactly how this ambitious educational blueprint is put together.
To really grasp what they're doing, we first have to look at the vision behind it. The Central Board of Secondary Education, or CBSE, teamed up with Intel to build this program. Their core philosophy is so explicitly clear. They state that AI is the cornerstone of future growth. But the really crucial part is where they say India views AI as an opportunity to foster inclusive economic growth and social development. So they aren't just teaching kids to code for the sake of coding. They're actually equipping students with the mindset to leverage AI to drive positive social change.
We're pulling all of this directly from the official Class 9 Artificial Intelligence Concise Course Handbook. It's fully aligned with the National Education Policy 2020 and the National Curriculum Framework 2023. This isn't just some abstract theory. It's the real deal. It's a tangible, comprehensive guide built to take young students from absolute beginners to capable, socially aware tech creators.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, the vision for AI education. Then, the anatomy of the handbook. Building a foundation with employability skills, moving into the core of mastering AI concepts, and finally, wrapping up with hands-on Python and projects.
Let's start with the anatomy of the handbook, the curriculum blueprint.
When you break down the four-part structure, you're looking at a massive 260 total hours of learning. Part A covers employability skills for 50 hours. Part B dives into subject-specific AI skills for 160 hours. Then Part C is dedicated to practical work for 35 hours. And Part D caps the whole thing off with 15 hours of project work. What absolutely stands out here is the balance. They are dedicating 50 full hours purely to soft skills and employability before students even finish their technical training.
Now, keeping ninth graders focused for 260 hours. Yeah, a dry theoretical textbook just isn't going to cut it. They've packed the material with interactive hooks. They use brain battles to drop quick questions throughout the chapters, fact blockers filled with wild trivia to spark research, and word finders to instantly cut through the dense technical jargon. It's designed to be completely dynamic.
Which brings us to the foundation, essential employability skills.
I love this part. Before anyone writes a single algorithm, they have to master human interaction. It's kind of the Trojan horse of this AI curriculum. The students sign up for AI, but first, they get a masterclass in being a capable human being. Part A rolls through 5 units: communication skills, self-management, basic ICT skills, entrepreneurial skills, and even green skills, which focuses on environmental conservation. Again, that is 50 hours dedicated purely to making sure these young teens are well-rounded individuals who can actually survive in a modern workplace.
Take the communication unit, for instance. It draws a very hard line between verbal and nonverbal methods. It tells students, hey, speaking confidently in a presentation to get fast feedback, that's great, but it's only half the battle. They also have to master nonverbal communication. They are explicitly taught how crossed arms, hunched shoulders, or dodging eye contact projects anxiety or nervousness even if they don't mean to. It's about taking control of the unintended physical messages just as much as the spoken ones.
And they anchor this with what they call the 7 C's of effective communication. They treat this as the ultimate, sensible framework for trustworthy human interaction. Your message has to be clear, concrete, complete, concise, courteous, coherent, and correct. Actually, imagine if every corporate email you got followed those 7 C's. By drilling this in at age 14 or 15, they're ensuring that when these kids eventually design AI, they'll actually know how to clearly and responsibly communicate what their tech is doing.
Next up is the core, mastering AI concepts.
This is where the actual technology takes center stage. But the crucial point is that they aren't just teaching kids to hack together some code. They teach a rigorous framework called the AI project cycle. It's got 5 iterative steps: problem scoping, data acquisition, modeling, evaluation, and deployment. Right from day one, students learn to spot a real-world problem in their community, gather the data, build a model, test it out, and push it out into the world. It's a full-stack, start-to-finish engineering mindset.
And yeah, AI means math, which, let's be honest, can be a tough sell for a teenager. But look at how they frame it. They take seemingly dry math concepts and give them massive, real-world stakes.
Statistics isn't just numbers on a page. It's framed as the engine for disaster management and disease prediction. Probability? That's not just flipping coins. It's the math behind weather forecasting and traffic estimation. They show exactly why the math matters.
Those stakes get even higher during the deployment phase. The curriculum relies on heavy-hitting social impact case studies to ground the technical concepts. For example, studying how AI models can actually tackle preventable blindness. We aren't talking about building silly photo filters here. They are challenging these students to think about algorithms that can literally save someone's eyesight or improve personalized education.
What's also wild is how up-to-date this material is. It includes an entire subunit on generative AI. But instead of just showing students how to generate fun images, the handbook immediately pivots to exploring the limitations and the very real ethical considerations of these tools. They even run a balloon debate activity where students have to stand up and argue out the societal benefits versus the practical harms of AI. It's deep, critical thinking about the tech they are using.
Finally, we get into hands-on Python and projects.
This is where the theory turns into hands-on practical application. Part C demands at least 15 practical programs written in Python. Students start with basic input and output functions, move through arithmetic operators and data types like integers and strings, and then they hit flow of control, your if, for, and while statements, before finally working with Python lists. It's a rock-solid, hands-on grounding in the world's most popular AI programming language.
So, what does this all build toward? It's a perfect intersection. On one side, you have technical skills for AI, like the Python coding and data modeling we just covered. On the other side, you have life skills, the communication, and the 7 Cs. Where they overlap in the middle is what the curriculum calls AI readiness concepts. The big takeaway here is that you literally cannot be ready for the AI revolution by having only one side of that equation. You absolutely must have both. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought to wrap up our explainer today. We are looking at an educational blueprint that flat out refuses to separate the machine from the human. So, if an entire generation is equipped from the 9th grade with both elite AI coding skills and a deeply ingrained sense of human empathy and social responsibility, how is that going to reshape the future workforce? It's a massive, profound question. And based on this curriculum, India is banking on a very bright answer. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.